Are you truly prepared for the wealth transfer? Will you receive the wealth transfer? Because not everyone will receive it. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone who expects to receive it. That's what we're going to talk about today. This stream is inspired by something that has been highlighted to me this week. And then it was confirmed in one of my one on one calls yesterday, and then reconfirmed while speaking to a someone in the community who makes videos, a prophetic voice in the community. It was reconfirmed once again. And the bottom line is not everyone's going to receive it. So let's look at why not everyone will receive it so you can make sure that you're in position to receive it. You get what I'm saying? Now, if you're watching the replay and you're like, man, I wanted to catch it live, I missed it. Make sure you have notifications turned on for the channel, all notifications. Not only that, but make sure you have notifications for YouTube turned on for your phone, right? You might have quieted YouTube's notifications so you don't get any. So make sure you got both notifications on. So the parable of the talents, right? We're looking at Matthew 25. I just got two translations up, the NLT and the AMP. Now, you probably know this parable, right? A master, he leaves for a journey. He calls three of his servants. He gives them money to manage. The first servant, he gives 5 talents, or the NLT says 5 bags of silver. The next, he gives 2, and the last, he gives 1. Now, the key here is where it says, verse 15, right? It says at the end of it, each according to his own ability, or in the NLT, dividing it in proportion to their abilities. So, what each person received was determined by their ability to handle it. Okay. Now, something that I've seen in the wealth transfer community on YouTube since I've been in it is people not doing their due diligence. There are people who just want handouts, who just want the answers given to them directly without doing any work on their own. And by work, I don't mean anything difficult like seeking the Lord, right? That's what I'm talking about, right? And they just want the answers given to them. Tell me what to invest in, tell me how much, tell me what price it's going to reach so I can just set it and forget it and I'll be blessed. But it ain't going to happen like that. Not everyone's going to receive it. You have to be positioned correctly. Now, when it comes to trading, when we mention positions, we talk about, okay, what am I invested in? How much? Where am I going to sell? Blah, 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 blah. But the most important position is the position of your heart. Is your heart in the right place? Now, one thing about this wealth transfer that I want you to realize, look at how much of what we expect depends on limit orders. Buy limit orders, sell limit orders. Now, what is the nature of a limit order? The nature of a limit order is it's not guaranteed. That's the nature of a limit order. It's never guaranteed that your order will be filled. It would be too easy for God to say, that order gets filled, but that one doesn't. This order gets filled, and this one doesn't. That's too easy for God. That's not even a question. So if you don't have the capacity to receive, back to the parable, he gave to each according to their ability. If you don't have the capacity to manage it, you're not going to receive it. And the master was right in giving that last servant only 1 talent, because we saw what the servant did with it, right? He mismanaged it. And then what happened? Okay, take that one singular talent from him and give it to the one who can manage it correctly. I said from the beginning, there are going to be people who receive a blessing, or so it seems, only to have it quickly fall through their hands. That's what's happening in the parable, and that will play out in actuality with the wealth transfer. So are you in position? And again, by position, I mean your heart. Do you have the capacity? There are questions I get asked, not personally, just questions I see in comment sections sometimes. And I'm like, okay, this question makes me wonder, how are you going to manage millions of dollars? The millions of dollars you want God to bless you with, how are you going to manage that when you're asking such a simple question? Now, don't get me wrong, there are people who are brand new to this. I get it. But there are people who are not brand new. And like I said, those people who just want you to tell them everything. They don't want to do any work themselves. Just tell me, like a computer. Just give me the inputs so I can copy and paste and I'll be good. There are things I see in the Christian community, the way people conduct themselves and just their daily business, right? You don't keep your word. You don't follow up and follow through and do what you said you were going to do. You don't make your appointments, etc. How are you going to manage millions of dollars that you want God to bless you with? Remember, the master gave according to their ability. Let me look at the chat. Might be preaching a little too much. Hello, Blue Light in Australia. Hello, Hiltonian. What's up, Gabe? Hopefully you're doing well, brother. Hello, Victory. I wanted to rewatch your video on Manuel Johnson and him asking as not to be greedy, but I can't find it. I mentioned that recently. Actually, no, it was a members video originally, and I made it public recently. So you have to go back to, I think I made that video in November. The encouragement in this message is there's still time to get right. There's still time to get right. I don't know how much, but this is like, hey, last warning, there's still time to get right. Right. The point is, there's going to be some disappointed people. People who thought this was a math equation. If I do X and add Y, that equals wealth transfer received. And it ain't going to play out that way. Remember, limit orders are not guaranteed. And it would be too easy for God to say, this one gets filled, that one does not. If anyone invests in the utility coin and secures them, God will bless them. Does anyone know how to get CSV history from SafePound app? NYP Universal, I don't know if what you're saying is trying to like contradict what I'm saying or correct what I'm saying, but as I've stated, you can invest in the right coins. You can invest in the prophetic coins. That doesn't mean you're going to hold on to it. That doesn't mean you're going to manage it correctly and wisely. That doesn't mean, there's it's greater than just I invest in this coin and that means I'm going to be blessed. It's deeper than that. Someone asked me to speak more on the bridge. I mean, I don't know what more I could say because I'm not sure what's going on with it. There's information that has come out. There's some theories about what it is. I don't think anyone's sure exactly what the intent behind that was, what the truth about that. I mean, somebody is sure about it. Somebody is, right? And God knows, of course. But I'm not clear on it. I can speculate, but I don't want to do that, you know. So I do believe it's symbolic at the very least, like I said, in the other live stream and in the YouTube short. But that's all I can say right now. So the word is make sure your heart's in the right place, right? Like this is very real. This is very real. There are people who are expecting to get the wealth transfer who will not get it. It's a real thing, you know. So do we have any other questions, comments. Um, I expected this to be a short stream. Any thoughts about CERN tests also on April 8th, Eclipse Day? No, not really. I was watching a video last night, I think, where the woman pointed out that CERN CERN has been running since January. Like they've been operating since. I'm not saying that the particle accelerator has been turned on since January, but they've been conducting operations, normal operations since January. And so the point they were making is this isn't some big event. April 8th, they're turning on the machine or something. How accurate that is, I have no idea. But my overall sense is there's nothing to fear or worry about for the eclipse. Yes, it is a sign. Yes, it is a marker. Yes, I believe things will cascade after it. Like it's like a tip of a domino in a sense, but nothing to fear. I'm probably gonna go outside and see what I see at the time it's supposed to be happening. Obviously, I'm outside of the path of totality, but yeah, I'm not worried about anything happening on the eclipse, anything negative. I have had two distinct dreams about Sheba. It was clear. The last one was I almost lost all my money in the dream and was very disappointed. And as I was about taking my money, it went up. Taking off my money, it went up. Okay. Seems pretty straightforward. Um, what about the KuCoin stuff? You know, a friend let me know about KuCoin. Um, and so I was wondering, maybe need to move everything off of there unless you have a Palau ID, right? Which I do not have mine yet. I ordered it, but it's not in yet. Um, I spoke to Crypto Knight. He feels it's a fear tactic of the enemy to get people to reposition or move their positions and miss out on some things. I say go with how you feel led. That's what I say. Um, I was walking down the street thinking about one sheep sell limit order and saw a little Shiba Inu dog. Not a coincidence. Right under the yeah, I was making a purchase today and I was thinking about the wealth transfer. I was literally in the moment thinking about the wealth transfer, and then the cashier told me my total and it was 818. So that was interesting, but of course that's happened before. God has given me a dream about rebuilding my community. Amen. That's awesome. Yeah, April will be big. April should be a good month. Should definitely be a month of shifting and transition at the very least, to say the least. All right, you all. So let's just make sure our hearts are in the right place, right? We're positioned to receive. We have shown that we have the ability to steward wisely so that we can receive. As the parable said, he gave according to their ability. All right. God bless. And I'll see you soon.